What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the AMR podcast reviews. This is Rockwell.
And I'm Ari.
And today we're going to be talking about another new movie that had come out recently. Because the first one, it was actually our first video. It was Frozen 2. This one's going to be another technically Disney movie, but not really, kind of, somewhat. And it's going to be Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker, the final movie in the Skywalker saga.
Maybe. That's what they say every 10 years, right?
I don't know, actually. Did they say that for Revenge of the Sith?
I don't know.
I don't know why I'm asking you. Like, I was really young when the Revenge of the
Yeah,
Sith came out.
I don't know, but I'm just saying, like, you'll see 10, 11, and 12 come out in, like, 15 years.
And hopefully it's better than this movie.
Hopefully.
So, without going into spoilers, let's first say so the premise basically is Palpatine comes back from the dead, and everyone's trying to figure out where he is to end him officially. That's just like the most you can get out of the trailers.
Mm-hmm.
So, initial thoughts without spoiling it.
It was alright. That's what I have to say.
That's it.
Not enough Porg, not enough Ewok, not enough cute Star Wars, not enough Jar Jar Binks.
Yeah, it was just all right. Yeah. How would you rate it?
I thought I told you.
For
Like
the
a 6 out of 10?
Yeah, you said 6 out of 10. Yeah, because I mean, you told me, but
Oh yeah, that's true. I'm so tired.
Really? Because we just took a nap.
I know. Anyway,
I'd rate it it went from a 6 out of 10 for me, but the more I thought about it, the more it got down a point, so it's a 5 out of 10 for me.
I still think it's a 6 out of 10. There were some, like, it was beautiful, like the cinematography and everything.
Mm-hmm.
The writing was better than the last one. It was fine, and I could see why it's so mixed, though. Like, it's no one's favorite, but it's no one's least favorite.
Yeah, that's the one thing I'll definitely say is that when it comes, like, for me, I love Star Wars. Personally, I love Force Awakens and The Last Jedi. I don't think this movie deserves all the hate it has gotten, but at the same time, I didn't love it. There's a lot of things I did like about it, but there's a couple things I think felt like it was being written by Reddit.
I guess it was fan fiction-y.
It's stuff, like I said in my Facebook, it's stuff, I feel like it's stuff I would personally write when I was in middle school.
Oh gosh.
And I was still learning how to actually write stories at the time.
Question: didn't George Lucas say, "All right, I'm gonna head out and not be a part of these movies"?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's saying something, to be honest.
Well, apparently, from what I heard, J.J. Abrams actually went to George Lucas for some advice.
Mm-hmm.
And so he has some input, but not a lot.
Right.
Oh, man, my knee. Ugh. So, yeah, if we're going non-spoilers, she's a 6 out of 10, I'm a 5 out of 10.
Yeah, I'm a little higher on the 10 rank scale.
Yeah, we have two other friends. They're part of the original podcast. One score is a 9 out of 10. The other's an 8 out of 10. Oh, yeah. Pure Lighter, he rated an 8 out of 10.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I didn't tell you that. So, yeah, if you guys don't want to hear spoilers, we're going to talk spoilers right now.
Yeah, but I mean, still, if you're not going to listen to spoilers, I would say just still go see it.
Yeah, go see it, form an opinion for yourself. Because that's the one thing I think a lot of people do is that when they hear reviews, I feel like it affects their opinion a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Like certain YouTubers I watch or don't really care anymore about, I feel like when they hear reviews, they go into it thinking about those reviews a lot. And that's not something to deny. There's a lot of people who actually are like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like I said, it does have a lot of things to enjoy about it, but it does have issues. So that being said, so the story pretty much starts with Kylo Ren meeting out Emperor Palpatine. You know, he searches for him, and honestly, the movie could have ended right there.
I saw a good point that, it seemed like there was something going on beforehand that maybe they should have, shown us, because Kylo Ren just appeared in Palpatine's how do I pronounce it?
You could just say
Ha-
Emperor.
In the Emperor's like lair, and nothing was shown before that to like how he got there.
Oh no, technically they did. They showed how he got like so that little triangle device.
Mm-hmm.
That was the device that showed him the coordinates.
Okay.
Yeah, and apparently I didn't know this. I found out on Twitter. One of the planets that shows that Kylo Ren is flying through or flying forward in, I guess at the beginning of the movie, is actually Mustafar, where Darth Vader was fully created. Yeah, it was where Obi-Wan cut Anakin's body parts off.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah, so apparently that was Mustafar, and I didn't even think about it. So yeah, honestly, the movie could have ended right there, though. I don't see why Kylo Ren would have made him live.
Yeah, like why didn't he just kill him?
Yeah, because if if Palpatine wanted Rey dead, you know, and you apparently love Rey and you want her as like your Empress, why didn't you just kill the Emperor?
Maybe he didn't think he had the power to.
He's a pussy. He was right there. He could have done it.
Leave Kylo Ren alone. What's wrong with you? He's easily the most developed character in these movies.
That's not a lie. I'm gonna say that right now. That is not a lie. Like Finn, he's supposed to have a backstory.
I feel like he's the only one who has a full story.
Yeah, because here's the thing. Like after we saw the movie and I was looking through Twitter, I actually forgot about this. After The Force Awakens, they said Finn was supposed to have a backstory to reveal his secret past before he became a stormtrooper.
Maybe that can be like a side movie.
Possibly, but it was supposed to be like revolved around in one of the Last Jedi or this movie. They never did. He was just he had like one arc, and that was in Force Awakens.
Yeah, I feel bad because like Finn was supposed to be a big character, and at the time of The Force Awakens, he was. And then like, what happened? Like, I don't know what happened. And I felt like Poe wasn't even in The Last Jedi, and then here he is again in full force. Like Poe was like such a minor character in The Last Jedi.
Yeah, he didn't.
Where
really...
Poe, like in the first movie, I was like, this is my guy. Like this is like the best Star Wars character in a while. And then they just kind of like put him in the shadows.
Yeah, he didn't really have much to do in Last Jedi when I think about it.
Yeah. No, he didn't.
Huh.
He was just like a pilot.
Yeah.
That like had a few lines.
Yeah, and he had a feud with the lady on the ship. I don't even remember her name. Is Hodor?
No.
Hodor? Hold the door.
Hold the door.
But yeah, no. So yeah, it goes to that. Then we cut to Poe and Finn pretty much getting something. He's getting a transmission from a traitor from within the Order, and you know they're getting attacked by the First Order. They light speed jump around different planets, and then we cut to Rey training. Find out that General Leia has been training Rey for presumably a year, I guess, since The Last Jedi. And you know, I told you this after we saw the movie. I was like, I don't blame the studio, but Leia's scenes, I feel personally, were you could tell.
What else were they gonna do?
Personally, what I would have done is I would have killed her off screen. Say she died from the damages that happened in The Last Jedi when she got sucked into space, but still say like she did train Rey before then. You know, because I feel like I would have done that personally. Say she just died of her injuries. But the scenes just felt, you could tell like the reaction she gives doesn't match what's being said to her.
Yeah.
But
I see what you mean.
Yeah, but that was basically it. So the rest of the movie, once they get back, I think they're on the planet Yavin 4 because it looks like the same planet from the original Star Wars movies.
Maybe.
They find out about the transmission saying that Emperor Palpatine lives because he put a speech through Fortnite. And yeah, apparently the big magnificent speech in the opening scroll, which I think could have been written better, was actually announced on Fortnite.
That's crazy. That's just like, I don't even know what to say about that.
And you know, someone actually pointed out too, maybe something that would have been better. But then again, with how it ended, it probably wasn't. Depending on how they ended The Last Jedi, they could have easily just put that speech.
That's like an end credit scene or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that would have made more sense.
Yeah, it would have made people be like, holy shit, you know?
Right. But instead they just, like, I don't think they knew what was going to happen. Because didn't the second one have a different director?
Yeah, they didn't have a clear vision because apparently, you know, they didn't really know where they were going with the story. Snoke was supposed to have a bigger role, I guess, but they killed him off so quickly. And they had a couple different things they were doing, like Rey's parents and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Which I will say, thinking back on it, because I was watching a video. So Rey, skipping forward a little bit, Rey is a Palpatine, and I think they hinted at that pretty well in the last two movies.
Yeah.
Because she was very easily secluded into the dark side.
Yeah, I mean, she was easily influenced.
Yeah, so it makes sense that she would be more of a Palpatine than anyone else.
Mm-hmm.
That's like the only thing I won't complain about, because it's like it was hinted at pretty well. So like I think that was a plan they had.
I thought for the longest time that like her and Kylo Ren were somehow brother and sister. And so that's why I was a little confused when in the third one they kind of like seemed like romantic with each other through most of it, because in the second one when they were talking to each other through like the Force or whatever,
and the
it was
shirtless
more like friendship, like sister brother kind of friendship, like don't do that, you can't make me, no, I'm gonna do it anyway, like the kind of things you would say to like your brother or your sister. But this time it was like, I don't want you to get hurt, I want you to take my hand, I want to be with you. And I'm like, oh, okay, this is a little different, I guess.
Now, see, that's where I'm like, that feels like a fan fiction. Because to me, Kylo Ren seemed like he wanted to kill Rey after, you know, the whole scenario at the end of Last Jedi.
Mm-hmm.
And then suddenly he wants her again. It's like, seriously?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it cuts to a part where they're basically, it's a search quest. It's a side quest where they're looking for stuff to basically try and figure out where Palpatine is. They find a dagger. Rey finds out about her past, that this dagger killed her family. It has Sith engravings on it, and C-3PO is the only one to read it.
But he can't, because it's like in his system like that. It's like blocked off in his system that he can't read the Sith language because it's too dangerous or something.
I do have one question about that, though. If he can read Sith language, and considering Anakin Skywalker actually created him, how in the world, like, if he could read Sith language, and why would you block that off?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Yeah, because I mean, Anakin Skywalker, he was a kid, so, and then they got their memories wiped in Revenge of the Sith. But it's like, why would you block that off though? Like, where did that come from?
It's a good question.
Yeah.
But then he gets his memory wiped again on Poe's home planet, which, hello, welcome back, Poe. So they show this planet from the beginning of The Force Awakens, which I think is the only time they had ever shown it in the past. And now we're supposed to care that Poe has this, like, random girlfriend who's a pretty cool character and not shown enough in the movie for me to, like, give a crap about their relationship, though. And
I'm surprised, though. I thought she was gonna take off her helmet at some point.
Yeah, she revealed her face. Like, she took the slider part off, and you could see her eyes and stuff. But she never took the helmet fully off.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just kind of like... I don't know why this character... Because, like, at the movie theater, they were selling, like a popcorn topper or something like that had this character's head on it.
Yeah, they were treating her like she's a big character, but she was barely in the movie.
Right, and I actually thought she was going to be in it more. Like, I thought she was going to join them and finish off the adventure, but she didn't. She was just like, no, I'm just going to sit here. And then, like, Poe's planet explodes, right? And...
Oh, is that the planet that they destroyed?
Yes.
I went to the bathroom when
that I told you that. I was like, they destroyed his planet.
Oh, I thought you said they destroyed a planet.
No, they destroyed his planet.
Damn.
And he was all sad, and so I was like, oh, I guess there goes that really cool character. And no, for some reason she was alive. I don't know how, because the only way she was going to get off the planet was that, like, little medallion that she gave to Poe. But somehow she still got off. I have no idea.
That's weird. Huh, I did not know that. Oh, and so the ship that Rey and all them are all actually on is actually the ship that they actually dropped her off on whatever planet she was on in The Force Awakens.
And who's helping them?
Oh, Lando
Exactly.
Calrissian.
Yeah, he came out of nowhere, and I was like, okay, it's appreciated, because Lando is like a really good character, and I think they were hoping the Han Solo movie did better, which is why they added him in there. But like, I don't know, I like that.
I still need to see Solo.
Yeah, I actually like Solo, and we can talk about that when you see it. But yeah, anyway.
Yeah, but he was good. I'm glad they also kept him alive, and they tried to play a fake out on Chewbacca dying.
Oh, that was like easily one of the worst scenes in the movie. Was when Chewbacca died in the ship, and the ship exploded, and it happened so quickly. And I'm like, you're just gonna kill off Chewbacca like that in such like an anticlimactic, blah blah. I can't even say it.
Anticlimactic.
Yes, in such that kind of way, like that's not like big. I mean, Chewbacca's one of the biggest Star Wars characters, and then of course, like 3 seconds later, he's still alive on a different ship. Like, okay, whatever.
Yeah, and I just want to point this out, and I felt this when I was watching it. The whole scene, like, this is where I felt like this was just unneeded, and this is where I was like really bothered. Like, it was a cool shot in the teaser trailer. But when it actually happens, when Rey walks out there and she's running away from Kylo Ren and his ship, and she jumps up and like slices the wing, I'm like, okay, this is just like, it was a cool shot, but it felt so forced. It felt so random. Like they were about ready to fly off. Chewbacca could have, not been in the ship. But Rey just feels Kylo Ren is like, okay, if he's chasing you, why are you walking out in the middle of nowhere, and then just doing this random shot, and then and after the ship crashes, you're ready to walk away. I'm like, what was the point?
But like as they were like Rey was trying to get the ship down, and Kylo was trying to push the ship up, like I just felt like that was a whole, I'm stronger than you. No, I'm stronger than you. No, I'm stronger than you. And I just felt like it was not necessary to the rest of the movie, because it's not a power struggle movie. Like they both know they're like both really powerful. So I don't know why they did that.
Yeah, and then that's when she found out she has Force lightning.
Yeah, which is weird.
Which I can kind of understand, because it's like if you're that angry and you're trying to use so much power, I can see Force lightning just randomly shooting out if you have that ability.
I guess, but does she know she has that ability? Like I heard that was a big complaint in the movie, was like Leia, okay, she trained Rey, but Leia never finished her own training, so like there's no way she could know all those like really powerful moves.
Oh no!
So
But the Force lightning, that's only a Sith. That's only a Sith thing.
Really?
Yeah, only the Sith.
So then how did she even learn how to do that?
I don't think she knew she could do that. That's the thing. I don't think she knew she could do that. That's why I'm giving that a little bit of a pass, because she's a Palpatine. So maybe it's just because her bloodline is so close to the dark side.
Maybe.
Maybe it's not something she knows how to use, but it just happens.
Maybe.
But yeah, no, they stage a rescue thing to get Chewie out, and that's when Rey finally finds out that she's a Palpatine, and she jumps onto the Millennium Falcon out of the what do they call the ships in this one, in this trilogy? Because in the original it's called Star Destroyers, but they're not. I don't think they're called Star Destroyers.
I don't know what they're called.
I'm not too sure either.
Big boom boom pow pow ships.
I'm gonna call it that from now on. So, but here's the thing, though. I will say this. This is one thing I actually do like, and I think this is a pretty cool way to do lightsaber fights, is when they shift back and forth into different areas. Because I mean, they still continue on with the connection between Rey and Kylo, and they're doing a lightsaber fight in between different areas, because they can still feel and interact with each other. And just for the record, for people who don't know, when it comes to that, Rey can see where Kylo is. Kylo can't see where Rey is.
Yeah, and one important detail we left out is that Rey also now has the power to heal.
Oh yeah, the Force seal.
Because there was like this creepy sandworm creature, and it was hurt when they were looking for the dagger. And instead of attacking them, Rey was able to like soothe it by healing its wound, and it like scurried off.
Oh yeah.
So that's important with the lightsaber fight with Kylo Ren and Rey in a little bit.
Yeah, so They find out that where they have to get the device that she needs to find Palpatine is located on one of the moons of Endor, and that's where the Death Star is, the remains of the Death Star. So they arrive there. There's a group of rebellion people
who end up also being former stormtroopers like Finn.
Mm-hmm. You know that black girl totally wants Finn, though.
Well, of course.
Yeah, and I think I read somewhere that she was supposed to be originally Lando's lost daughter.
But then why is she a stormtrooper then?
Well, in Force Awakens, Finn said that the First Order actually captured children and made them into the stormtroopers.
Oh, okay.
So that's what they said, is that she was captured.
Yeah, because they were sitting together at the end of the movie, and Lando did make a comment, and they looked at each other, and
he looked at her like he knew her.
Yeah.
So maybe that was the whole thing. Maybe that's the reason why they didn't want to make it too obvious.
Maybe.
But so yeah, they meet them. Rey decides to go to the Death Star anyways. Finn follows with the girl, and she goes into the old throne room where Emperor Palpatine watched Darth Vader and Luke Skywalker fight. And then Kylo Ren's already there. You know, they do a lightsaber fight. Oh, actually. And then Rey sees what she's going to be like if she went to the dark side.
Which was really a cool scene.
That should have extended a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to lie. That was pretty cool. I felt like it was too fast and a little too...
It was.
Yeah, because that was 5 seconds?
Mm-hmm.
And I remember our friend Mike actually said, why are they showing spoilers? So, yeah, so Kylo Ren and Rey, they're in a lightsaber fight. They're going across the Death Star remains. And Kylo Ren actually beats her ass pretty good.
Yeah.
He's going to win, and then Leia finally, she reaches out to him, and...
that took the last of her energy to, have, that final reach out to him, saying, you need to stop this.
Mm-hmm. And apparently Kylo actually did die because since he's distracted, Rey grabs her lightsaber, or his lightsaber, and stabs him in the chest.
Mm-hmm.
He actually did die.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't struggling and then slowly dying. He just died.
And then Rey healed him with her magical worm powers.
Mm-hmm.
And then she fled the scene. She just left. And Kylo Ren was there still and saw his father, the ghost of his father, and spoke to him one last time, spoke to his spirit.
Well, just to make it clear though, it's not like a force ghost. It's kind of like that ghostly vision you'd see. But yeah, no, it was basically like a ghostly vision he saw of Ben, and from what I've heard from reviews, a lot of people actually really liked that scene. They thought that was a genuine scene they did.
They also said how big was Harrison Ford's paycheck, because apparently he didn't want to come back. I do remember hearing that. That's why they killed him off in the first movie.
That's true. But yeah, because he didn't want to come back. But I'm glad he did.
Yeah.
He looks good for his age, though.
That I know.
So Kylo Ren's basically repeating the same. They're both repeating the same lines from Force Awakens before Kylo killed his father.
Mm-hmm.
But this time they're talking about the struggle of going back to the good side because he doesn't know if he has the strength to.
Right.
Because also, if he goes to the good side and he lives throughout this movie, he'll still be seen as the biggest fucking asshole ever.
Exactly. Yeah.
But he throws his pretty cool lightsaber away and joins Rey for the final fight.
Not yet.
No, well, yeah, no, he.
Oh, well, yeah, you don't really see him again until then.
Yeah.
But then after that, Rey is on.
I don't remember what the island's called.
The Porg Island, and they showed two Porgs that actually were CGI'd terribly.
No, I don't think they were CGI. I think they were animatronic.
I don't know what was going on, but they did not look like the Porgs we know and love.
Yeah, they moved awkwardly. I'm not gonna lie.
I think that that whole scene was just to say The Last Jedi ain't shit, because the Porgs look stupid, and then Luke Skywalker was very sarcastic when he came back as a spirit to talk to Rey.
And I'm gonna say this too. This is something I think. I'm trying to think who I watched that said this, but when Luke grabbed the lightsaber, she threw the lightsaber into the wrecked ship of Kylo. She took Kylo Ren's ship. I guess she landed it and put it on fire and threw the lightsaber in, and then Luke grabbed it and is like, you don't treat a weapon like this with that kind of dignity or something like that. And people kind of took it as took it as a nod to when he threw the lightsaber over his head.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, too, it's like, some people took it as like a jab at The Last Jedi for doing that. But if you think about it, his character development in The Last Jedi shows that he was wrong. He even says he was wrong about his actions. And even at the end of The Last Jedi, he realized he was wrong for what he was doing. And that's why he confronted Kylo in a force. He basically simulated himself in front of Kylo Ren, which is something that does exist in the lore. Obi-Wan Kenobi's done that before. Just saying, he's done that in Revenge of the Sith. And, he tells him that, he tells her that basically, I ran away here because I was scared. But, you can't be scared. He gave her this speech I thought was pretty good.
And then he gave her Princess Leia's lightsaber from when she was training. And that was a cool scene, too, because I don't know if it was de-aging or if it was Photoshop or like actors that looked like them when they were younger. But they had this really cool scene where they showed young Luke and young Leia training.
Oh, no, with how things are nowadays, I don't think they're going to choose actors that look younger. Well, no, they didn't do it with Solo, but like nowadays they do de-aging. Like Mark Hamill's de-aging looked great. Leia, it's obvious it was a little... she looked a little video game-ish, but at the same time, they probably got her daughter to play Leia again, because I think she played Leia in Rogue One.
Mm-hmm.
So, but that was a pretty cool scene. I actually hope they kind of do something kind of similar, because, I mean, if Martin Scorsese does that for The Irishman, for the whole movie, they could do it for a Star Wars movie if they wanted to. But that'd be a little awkward, too, because Princess Leia.
Yeah, they'd have to pick someone else.
Yeah, but, yeah, so, Poe and Finn come back to... I'm just gonna call it Yavin 4 because... No, wait. I think I'm an idiot right now.
I wouldn't know either way, so...
I think Yavin 4 is a ship.
Jungle planet.
No, it is a temple. Never mind. It is a temple. I wonder if that's actually... No. Nope, it's not Yavin 4. Never mind, it's not Yavin 4. I should have looked that up. It looks a lot like Yavin 4, though. I'm not going to lie. It looks a lot like Yavin 4. But yeah, no, they go to the planet that the Rebel base was at, or the Resistance base, and they find out General Leia died. And so what happened between there? Because that was when I was in the bathroom. Did they become like the new generals?
Who?
Finn and Poe. Because it sounded like they were both generals now.
No. They actually gave the general medallion to Chewbacca at the end of the movie, remember? They're like, oh, this is for you.
Really?
Yeah, that's what I thought that was.
No, actually, that was actually the award. That was like something similar to the reward that he got at the end of A New Hope.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, no, it cut to Palpatine. Orange juice Palpatine.
What?
It cut to him. Oh, what happened? The spy, Harry Potter.
Oh yeah.
Ron Weasley's older brother, who is now in Star Wars. Percy. Yeah, he was the spy for, I can't think.
The Resistance.
The Resistance, yes, and the evil-looking general.
I don't even know
killed
what his
him.
name was.
And because Kylo Ren is not with them anymore, the evil general, you don't remember his name?
No, I don't remember his name, but Kylo Ren was still with them at the time when they found out.
Yeah, but then like at that point, he called up Palpatine and he was like, yeah, man, so we had a spy, Kylo Ren, I don't know what happened to him, so now it's just me. And
so that's what happened.
Palpatine was like, all right, well, I'm going to finish this shit show. And so he blew up the planet that Poe's from.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So,
so then Poe and everyone else was like, we need to defeat them. So that's when they were like, okay, well, if we fight, then more people are going to join in and fight with us if we just go at it.
Yeah, so before they even did that though, that's when Rey was sending out a signal to show how to get there.
Yeah.
Chewbacca and Lando went to go get people, while Poe and the rest of the Resistance, they went to the planet. And it was I will say, that entire fight was pretty awesome. The fact that all of them got off their ships and what was actually on the ship to destroy it, that was pretty sick.
Yeah.
So Rey goes to the planet. She confronts Palpatine. She finds out she's the granddaughter of Palpatine, and basically he wants to enter his granddaughter and make her and take over her body to become the new Empress with a new body of the Sith, which is kind of weird.
Yeah, a little weird.
Like, cool, my granddaddy wants to be inside me. That's not pedophilic at all.
Anyway.
Church taught me this.
Anyway. So then, now she's at a struggle. She's like, I need to kill this guy because he's evil, but also if I kill him, then I become the Dark Lord.
Oh, that's right. He wanted her to kill him.
Yeah, specifically because all the power would go into her since they're, like, related or whatever.
And the thing he was using to bribe her was that if you kill me, your friends will live, but if you don't, they'll die.
Right. Like, he's saying, you can stop all of this now if you kill me and become the Dark Lord. Mm-hmm. So, of course, that's a tactic for her to be like, well, I can stop it. But, of course, if that did happen and she became the Sith Lord, then she wouldn't have control over making that kind of decision. She'd just be, like, have all that power that she doesn't even think about her friends anymore.
Yeah. And then while she's struggling with that, Ben Solo, since he's now Ben Solo, not Kylo Ren, he enters the fortress, and I will say Adam Driver does a pretty good job of showing the different physique of Kylo Ren and Ben Solo. Mm-hmm. And he gets attacked by the Knights of Ren, which I will say, the Knights of Ren, they didn't live up to anything. They were kind of bland. I
didn't even know who they were. I thought they were just random soldiers.
No, they were introduced in The Force Awakens in a flashback when he attacked Luke's Jedi temple.
Uh-huh.
And that was it. They were like this shroud of mystery, and then people thought we were going to see him in the Last Jedi, but we didn't. We see him here, and they barely do a damn thing.
Yeah.
So Rey secretly gives Ben her lightsaber. He kills all the Knights of Ren, and they finally meet and confront Palpatine together. Mm-hmm. And Palpatine steals the life source of the both of them.
Right.
Kicks Ben Solo right to the curb, right down to a cavern. And he regains his fingers, which is kind of funny. And just in case, because one of our friends mentioned this, he feels like he was cheated out of a lightsaber fight with Palpatine. But when you think about it, he probably didn't think he would actually lose, in terms of bribing Rey.
Yeah.
And he didn't have any fingers, so
true.
Why would he have a lightsaber right now? So this is where I feel like it was starting to go into a very Reddit fan moment. Palpatine, he gives a speech. He's Force Lightnings Rey. Rey deflects it with a lightsaber, and then gets Leia's lightsaber. Does both. Says, he's like, "I'm old Sith," and she's like, "And I am Iron Man."
No, she hears all the voices of the different Jedis before she woke up.
Oh yeah, like Mace Windu,
Samuel Jackson,
Obi-Wan, Anakin, Yoda,
but not Baby Yoda.
Baby Yoda.
Baby Yoda. Baby Yoda. But anyway, yeah, so then she awakens knowing that all of these Jedis are looking down on her and saying, like, you got this, you can do this. So that's when she does the whole cool double lightsaber thing. But she still loses, doesn't she?
No, once she kills Palpatine, because the lightning starts destroying his body it starts destroying his body completely. It just makes this giant explosion that destroys the entire temple, and it destroys the entire temple, and it ends up killing her.
Mm-hmm.
So Ben Solo, he comes up, he gives her all of his life source. They have a very awkward kiss, and he dies.
And again, this is the second movie. Oh no, I guess. In a very Avengers and Infinity War kind of way. But also, I guess that's what Jedis do, but he's not a Jedi, so I don't know.
Oh, you're talking about when he faded away?
When he just disappeared.
Yeah, that's the weird thing. He went to the dark side so young, and I think Jeremy Johns even said this is like he started so young. So how does he know how to do this?
Mm-hmm.
Princess Leia is a little bit more reasonable, but how does Ben Solo know how to do it? Because it's a trick that only the Jedi can learn, because that's the way of learning immortality, and most Jedi only know how to do that because I think the only time Jedis do that is when they turn into a Force ghost.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's the only time I've ever seen it happen.
Mm-hmm.
Luke did that. Obi-Wan did that. Yoda did that. Did Yoda do that? I haven't seen Return of the Jedi in a while.
But then again, didn't Anakin?
Yeah, Anakin did too.
Even though he was a Dark Lord or Sith Lord, whatever.
Well, he went back to the Jedi before he died, but he was at least old enough to learn how to do that.
Yeah.
And, yeah, Yoda did do it because he was a Force ghost at the end of Return
he
of
definitely
Jedi.
was.
But yeah, once he fades away, Leia fades away, and they fly away back to the resistance base. Happy ending, and then she goes to Tatooine, buries Luke and Leia's lightsaber, and pretty much takes the name Skywalker. Which technically, I did read this. Technically, it makes sense because if Ben Solo gave her his life source, technically she has a Skywalker life source inside her.
Why didn't they show him though as a ghost?
That would have been nice.
Because technically he's a Skywalker too.
But I think the reason too would be because of if you really think about it, Leia and Luke were basically like the parents she never had.
Yeah.
So I think that's the main reason why she took it.
Mm.
And then the movie ends with Rey and BB-8 looking at the two sons.
Yeah.
So that is the basic plot breakdown of Rise of Skywalker.
Like I said, I give it a 6 out of 10.
5 out of 10 for me. Most like I said, there's a lot of stuff to enjoy, but the majority, like half of it, I really love. Half of it, I get pissed off when I think about it.
Mm.
It's not a bad movie by any means, but it could have been better. And I still feel like The Last Jedi was a better movie, especially The Force Awakens. People can say what they want, but I didn't consider either movie a mess. Yeah, there's really not much else to say. The music was great. There was one Easter egg I did notice. If you guys played Star Wars, the Fallen Order, the ship that they use, the Mantis, is actually in the fleet that actually comes to the planet, because that's when the entire, like, a whole bunch of fleets. There's got to be so many Easter eggs in that fleet, and they actually join in on the fight.
And my favorite nod to something was when I think it was Rey was trying to fix or lift up Kylo Ren's ship. The spirit of Luke was behind her, like helping her pick it up, and it reminded me of when Yoda was trying to teach Luke how to use the Force by like picking up his ship on the island. So I like that, and you could see Luke like smiling after that. So
that was a good nod to it. And then they also had Cloud City appear, and the actual Endor planet with the Ewoks.
Oh yeah, they randomly threw an Ewok in there, and I was like, well, you know what? I'll take it.
The one thing I did read, or not read, but I got in a conversation with someone, was this movie concluded the story arcs of, all the other movies, including their own story, and I'm like, what did they conclude? I mean, if you just Emperor Palpatine was basically considered dead at the end of Return of the Jedi, but they bring him back randomly. What else did they conclude here? They concluded Rey's backstory. They showed that she was a Palpatine, and Kylo Ren's backstory. And that was about it. What else did they... There was not much else that they could conclude. I don't know what else... Like, what other hanging storylines was there besides Palpatine? It was kind of pointless.
And it didn't have to be hanging, because like you said, he was, like, dead.
Yeah. They could have added something else, like something a lot more... But again, I mean, they probably went a safe route just because Palpatine is very well known.
Right.
But, I mean, granted, like I said, I think Palpatine was actually... I think he was always planned to come up, but the way they planned about it was really bad.
Right.
They should have hinted at it or talked about it or, like, mentioned his name or something like that in the last movie, but they didn't.
That's why, like, I don't know why they didn't use the same director, if there was an argument or something. But that's why with these kind of series, I feel like you should have the same director for commit to all the movies that you're planning to make. Like, for example, like the Guardians of the Galaxy, the director was almost completely fired for something he did.
He was fired, but then they brought him back.
But the cast was like, no, we can't do this without him. And like, I totally agree with that. Like, the director had a vision, and if you just threw someone else in there to complete that vision, it would not have turned out the way it was originally visioned to be. So,
and not just that, they actually went to other directors, even directors who have done other Marvel movies. They declined because they didn't want to do it.
Right.
And I think also, not just in respect to James Gunn, I think they didn't want to do it simply because they knew if they were to do it, people would be like, "This isn't the same movie."
Right.
But yeah, that's gonna be our discussion on Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And down the road, we'll probably do something I thought we could do is maybe, even with some other movies, talk one movie each of a series, like say Harry Potter or Star Wars.
Yeah.
And yeah, we'll if we do another Star Wars, we might start with the Phantom Menace.
Oh boy.
Oh yeah, we're gonna start all the way on episode 1.
Start in chronological order.
Oh yeah. I mean, we don't have to do Rise of Skywalker again, but
yeah.
So yeah, that's gonna be it, and I hope you guys have a good rest of your holidays.
Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, and just Happy New Year.
What she said.